Hi everyone, now as a way of saying thank you to all of you who've supported this channel and helped me get to that 4,000 subscriber mark, I want to offer something to you. So I'm going to give you not one, but 2 opportunities to win the very app that I'm talking about today. That's an extremely advanced storyboarding app, PREVIS Pro, for a 1-year subscription for free. Now all you have to do is 3 very simple steps. Step 1, subscribe to my channel. Simple. Step 2, like this video. Now the third step that you need to do in order to have a chance of getting this app for free for a year is to email me at the address that is on this screen right now and in the description down below what your favorite aspect of this app is and why. So what do you enjoy most about this app and why? Email me that, and then in my next video I'll announce the 2 lucky winners who are going to get this app, PREVIS Pro, for free. So this is PREVIS Pro. On the left hand side of the first menu you come to, you've got tutorials. So if you press on tutorial, it will then come up with not a full tutorial as such, it just goes through a few screenshots that they've created telling you basically what you can do with PREVIS Pro and the kind of shots you can create, storyboarding, that kind of stuff. Then you just press that arrow on the top left hand side and that takes you back a page and you can go to examples. So this is examples of work that they've created for you to have a look at. And they've recreated various famous films, so The Graduate, Jurassic Park, Titanic, all those kind of things. So it's quite fun to see what they've created and what's possible with this app. So first project, you tap on that and we're now creating. So if you press the plus button on the top right hand side, you come to the scene information. So this is the scene that you're going to film first. You can have scene 1, you've got location. So we're going to choose a forest, perhaps. We'll go for forest. You can have interior and exterior. So if someone's walking from inner house to outside, you can do that, create 2 locations in one scene. But we're going to stick to exterior. You can have daytime, and you can see on the right hand side in custom sky, this will change. So you've got daytime, nighttime, twilight, so magic hour essentially. And then you've got notes, so you can write various notes that you want on here. And then also at the bottom you've got color grade override. So if we press edit, it then goes into a made up scene and town that they created in PREVIS Pro themselves, and you can tap various looks as it rotates around the town. So if you want to create a certain noir look or a hotter look or a colder look, retro, that kind of thing, you can add that to your storyboarding. So this will be how it looks in post-production. I personally would keep it neutral, although you can play around with that. Then we're going to go to interior floor, which you can see on the right hand side. And here you've got chromatic, so exterior, interior, light brown, transparent, that kind of thing. And then interior, you've got wood, dark wood, carpet, red carpet, concrete, ceramic tile, marble. So you've got water if you wanted to create something out at sea, snow, sand, dark grass, grass and dirt. I think I'll keep it as dark grass as we're in a forest and press done. You can then press on custom sky. So we're going to press on that. And on the left hand side you can see there's a compass with north on the top there, the N. You can move that sun, so it goes to the east, to the south, to the west, to the north. So if you know you're filming at a certain point and during a certain day and where the sunlight will be, you can then see where the shadows will be for that shot as well. So it's super advanced, this app. It really is incredible. And then on the right hand side you've got a dial where you've got this red dot, and that can be moved around from daytime to nighttime, and that crosses over with magic hour as well, so you can change that aspect of the light. And on the bottom here you've got a dial. You can plan for the shadows or lack of shadows that are going to be there. If it's going to be sort of middling, there's some shadows, and if it's really clear blue skies and sunny, you can see you're going to get really strong shadows. And when you move that sun around, you can see exactly what you'll be working with on the day if you know your location and what the weather will be like. So let's press done again, and we're now in the scene. So we've got a 2D map of our scene so far. You can see we've got a camera here, but if we press on that camera, we can edit it. And you can choose from different cameras. So if you've got Arri, Blackmagic, Red, Sony, Canon, DSLR, GoPro, a drone. I shoot with my iPhone 12, so I'll be using an iPhone. And you can even change the color of the objects that you're using in your film set. So the sun, you can actually click on that as well. And you can move that sun, and as you move that sun, you can see that the shadows on that image slightly move around. Obviously I've got 50% shadows, so it's not super bright. So now what's really fun to do is to edit your characters to different looks. So we're gonna press on the 2D map here, the gray character on the left, and you've got different options. So you've got edit, the pose you can edit, change them into different actions, their expressions on their faces, where they're looking in terms of their eyes, their head, duplicating them, delete a character if you don't want it anymore, lock that character so it can't be moved and it stays in position, hide it so you can't see it, and you can unhide it by tapping on it and then tapping on unhide. add to set. So if you were doing this as a bit of a last minute thought, you can add it to all of the different shots on this same set. So if you've got this set in a forest and you want to have him in all the shots, but he's not in all the shots, you can just add to set and he'll be added to every single shot in that scene. You got mirroring, which I haven't actually figured out what that means yet, and then copying the character to paste it somewhere else. So we're going to go back and edit this character. We can edit the body type. So we've got different physiques, we've got heavier look, muscular look, or bald, bearded, that kind of stuff as well. And you can change the skin type, so you got light skin to tanned, and then darker skin as well. And then you got hair color that you can change. So you can make him a lighter hair color if you wanted to. Change the top color, so he can be wearing, let's go for a sort of an orangey color, so he stands out. And then blue jeans, he's a very fancy looking guy. And on the right hand side above this character's head, you can see it's got 5 foot 11 inches or 180 centimeters. If you tap and hold on that red bar above his head, you can slide that with your finger up and down to make him taller or shorter. Now before we press done, actually, if you add to cast on the right hand side, we can add a name to him. So we'll call him Roger, and done. And that's your first character created. Now if we tap on that character again and press pose, we can now change different poses. So we've got different standing poses, different sitting poses, so if they're sitting on a ledge, on a bench, on a seat, anything like that. Moving, so you've got different walking to running to crawling. Then you've got them down on the ground if they're being arrested or something. Then crouching down, doing press-ups, leaning back casually, very casually. Action gestures really cool, so you've got someone who could be pushing a car, something like that, with their back to it or in front of it, throwing something, attacking something. Gestures, so someone maybe is pleading for their life, someone who's kind of begging for forgiveness, someone who's protesting, looking for attention, that kind of thing. And then special poses, which are kind of a little bit crazy. Another feature that I really love about the PREVIS Pro app is that you can customize the actual poses your characters are doing. So you select the character that's in your screen, that circles it in red, and from the menu that pops up above that, you then hit pose. Then you hit pose cap on the top right. And what it does, that allows you to either put a timer on so that you can then take a pose picture that adds to your character, or get someone else to do it as I'm doing now. So if I go for a pose right now, something like this. Now, whilst you can see it may not be 100% accurate, it certainly gives you a bit of the look that you want, even if your arm does snap in the opposite direction. So you can change different expressions, but you can also customize this, and this is insane. So if you press custom, press add, you relax your face with a closed mouth and tap on collaborate, capture the expression. So this is me talking now, and I'm gonna go, he even captures my eyes as well, which is really strange. This is so cool. So you can then record, take a picture, maybe he's smiling like I was there, and then come out of it. So if we press the top right camera sort of image here, because of the square and the little kind of framing, we then see the actual shot of his face and the look. And then you've got framing on the top left, you've got grid guides. So you can have the classic rule of thirds, so you can make sure people are on where the lines are joining if that's the kind of look you're going for. And then various other grid guides that you can turn off and on as well for your imaging and framing, which is really, really cool. We can change it to 3D, so on the bottom right side of the 2D map, press on 3D, and we're now looking at the 3D map. On this red circle, you can tap and slide it from left to right to change the direction that they're facing. And then you can also, on the arrow on the bottom left here, you can change the actions that you're creating with the character movement. So with the arrow, you can lift this person up off the ground, maybe they're levitating, and then back down to earth. And then we press on the sort of earth symbol here with the different circles and change them so they're sideways, maybe they're being carried by people, that kind of thing. And then you can change other aspects of them as well, so you can turn them around. So now we're going to build this forest. So if you press on the pencil on the top right hand side and go to props, we've got basic, furnishings, small, medium, weapons, large, so structural things like houses, shacks, different types of buildings. Structural, you got like doors of old like dungeons, that kind of thing, prison cell doors, brick doors, a massive safe door, all sorts of fancy looking ones, and brick wall structures or concrete structures, as well as stairs. Then in commercial, you got things you'd expect to find in an office, a supermarket, arcade games, drinks machine, bear rug. Then exterior, you got things that you'd find outside in the streets like bin bags, bins, deck chairs, washing lines, picket fences, paddling pools, satellite dishes, wheelbarrows, signs, snowman, all sorts of things, and like staircases as well that you can build and ladders onto sides of buildings. As we move across, you've got nature, Animals, so you got things like dogs, rabbits, cats, snakes, spiders, all sorts, deer, bears, gorillas, zoo animals, that kind of thing, as well as ocean animals like sharks, killer whales as well. Vehicles, so you can add different bicycles, motorbikes, carriages, cars, taxis, police, ambulances, buses, fire engines, dump trucks, school buses, police vans, that kind of thing, as well as tanks, trains and carriages, and helicopters, planes. It really is, as you can see at this point, pretty endless, which is amazing. Different effects, so you've got fires, you can have campfires, water, rain that you can add to your shots. Tools, so if you want to create a shot of a film set, that kind of thing with green screen. And like everything else in the set, like the characters, we can place it wherever we want, rotate it, make it higher, lower, that kind of thing. And we're going to create a huge forest. So if we kind of pinch out of this shot, we have a bit more of a view as to where things actually are. And then hold on each tree, and then we can start moving them around. Import, now you can import different things as well, so more cameras if you want to go for multi-camera. You've got different characters, props as we've gone through, different walls as well, so you can try out different walls, different film lights. You can import objects as well from websites, and you can also draw on your image as well. Go back arrow to undo that, or forward arrow to redo that action. Now to give your film a name, you just click on your project. First project that you can see at the top, you click on that. And then you've got all the details which you can change for that project. So we're going to change this to forest discussion. You can change the frame size to whatever you want. So we're going to get iPhone native. That changes everything in terms of how the shot looks and how you're going to work with that camera. You've got different aspect ratios. So you can go widescreen 185:1, 235:1, all this kind of stuff, traditional TV looking, Instagram shots, all of that. Number locking, so whether you want this to come out in your storyboarding prints as different number sort of layouts, that kind of thing. And then watermark images, so you can watermark your image if you want to so that no one else can use it. So now we're going to take a look at a made up project that I've called the bus stop. So on the main page, any projects that you've made before will be here. You've got some fun shots and scenes that I've made, and you can see the 3D version of them here. So you can create anything you want. So this guy with a chainsaw, really lovely guy. And you can create literally anything. So if you go back, I've got this little foresty scene where I've added rain as well. And you can move that camera side to side. You can then maybe move it in for a close-up of the woman's reaction, or then move it closer still to the man's if you want to get a close-up shot. Bring it higher so it's near his face. And then when you've got the shot lined up how you want it, again, you just press plus and you move on to the next shot of your scene. So this is a 2D map of the location that I've created. You can then have a look at the 3D location version of this. Now when you're using PREVIS Pro to move around the actual 2D map, you just use your finger to move around like this, sliding it around. You can pinch inwards to stretch it out so you've got more of a bird's eye view, and then you can kind of stretch it out to get closer or further away from the image. Now it changes a bit in 3D, so if you want to pinch that inwards, that takes you towards the characters. If you get 2 thumbs and then push them both at the same time upwards, that brings you down to their level. And then to rotate around the characters, you just kind of put your fingers diagonally on the screen, and that will rotate for you, yeah? So you can just kind of rotate like that. And you press the ellipsis, which is the 3 dots on the top right. That'll bring up a new menu. You've got the shot info. So in shot info, you can make the notes, as we said. You can add different size of the shot. So whether you want it to be a cowboy shot, medium shot, the camera movement as well. So if you want a dolly in, a pan right, arc left, tilt down, up, whip, are all built into the system. So you can choose what kind of shot you're going to go for. And then you can go to export. Now when you export, you can choose whether you want to export it as a JPEG, PNG, PDF or MP4. Whether you want the quality to be high or good, whether you want it to be marked up or not, with different drawings and sort of arrows that you may have drawn onto there. And you can edit as well, so you can select exactly which shots and scenes you want selected for the storyboard that you're going to export. Oh, and did I tell you, when you go to a 3D map or 2D map and press on your camera, then press monitor, you can actually change the focal length of your lens that you're using, or if you want to, you can start adjusting the focus. So you've got autofocus. So if you want to tap on someone and they'll be in focus to make it quicker, to practice how you'd have your shallow depth of field, deep depth of field, you can press it so that the person nearest you is on an extremely shallow depth of field. And if maybe there's a vehicle in the background or something that's of interest that needs to come in at some point, you can change the focus to that van in the background. And you've also got manual focus tools as well to play around with if you wish to do that as well. Really, really useful stuff. Now in both 2D and 3D versions, you've got a symbol in the top right of your actual set that you've created here. If you press that, and this is where it gets insane, guys, it then asks to proceed to augmented reality mode to place and view this scene. You press enter. Then, wherever you are in the world, you can put this green dial onto the ground and then tap on the highlighted area, and you now have your set. As you can see, I'm still outside, but you have your set live in front of your face. This is insane. This is one of the most insane things I've ever seen on a smartphone. Again, this is for iPhone, a Mac M1 and iPad. It's just ridiculous. And if that isn't enough, that you can see the whole way through this scene to create shots as well, if you press on the bottom right here, you've got a single person and a larger single person, and you press that larger single person, it makes it into a life-size building. So I'm now looking up at this building that I put in the set. This is the police car, this is the dog, this is the two people. I've got the phone camera here. This is just insane, guys, absolutely insane. So if I pull back, this is the phone that's taking the shot. And whilst I'm doing this, I can even push forward and practice different angles of the shot in this same scene. So I can go from maybe right down the barrel of the gun. You can press the plus sign on the bottom left here. That turns it into your next shot, and you can keep doing that again and again and again to get all the different shots. So you can just create your own world here, look around, see what shots you think would be working well for your film, and then just start creating. It's absolutely crazy. Then you can even come up to the shop. So if you've got buildings all the way over here, you can literally walk in a real life area, real life distances up to buildings, and you get different shots. So you can even have a shot here of the people walking towards the car, maybe even just their feet. And then you can add that by pressing the plus sign. And then you can see that right here. Now the possibilities with this really are endless. So you could even practice moving around your physical set. So through vehicles, around vehicles. I can practice camera moves, I can turn around, minding my rucksack and my tripod, of course. You can do a dolly in, you can practice, tilting up, looking at the building, tilt down, so how that's gonna look, how it's gonna strike the mood of your film, how it's gonna affect everything. You can just do anything you want within the world that you've created within this app. And it is just by far the most advanced app I've ever come across for storyboarding. And it's just insane. Imagine that's one of the shots, you can add that. Look to your panel, see that you've added it to your storyboard. It's just insane. It's such a fun way. I think that's the key word here, is it's a really fun way to actually create your storyboard and just walk around the world that you've created. Now you can get a 1-month trial for free of PREVIS Pro. That includes everything that I've shown you, yearly annual subscription, or a lifetime one-off purchase for PREVIS Pro. As you can see here, if you're a student or a teacher, you can get a discount, and it is actually a massive discount that you get if you're a teacher or a student. I believe this is for the annual yearly membership. It's 70% off, so it is a huge discount on this app. As you can see from the App Store, they do update this as well every so often, and they got some really, really big ideas in the pipeline, guys, including visual effects and animation tools that they'll be bringing to PREVIS Pro. You can get a yearly subscription for $99.99, monthly subscription for $14.99, so if you want to use it for a month in preparing for a film, or a lifetime membership for $249.99. So this is clearly for those who want to make the most professional films possible. There's a few different options for their payment plans, which is really great for people of all budgets. And I have to say, this is a really next level storyboarding, and it's one of the most advanced apps I've ever seen for anything on filmmaking. I absolutely love this app. It is by far the most advanced storyboarding app or filmmaking app that I have seen ever. And don't forget also that you can import your scripts from Final Drafts as well, so you can storyboard straight from your scripts by importing that in. If you've got LiDAR capabilities on your iPhone, you can then also use that to create more textured backgrounds to your shots as well. It takes away the need for having loads of crew and actors to start helping you with storyboarding if you want to take pictures in locations. You can even take a picture of a location and then use that as the background and start using that for storyboarding and dropping characters in. You can also create characters and import those in the same way you'd create a Sims character, for example, in the game. Create them, all the different aspects of them, different costumes, and then drop them into your set. And also don't forget, you get 2 opportunities at winning a year's subscription for free PREVIS Pro by doing what's in the description down below, those 3 steps. See you in the next one. Have a great time. Bye bye.